What is up, everybody? It is Saturday. It is September 29th, and this is another new episode of the VR Game Rankings YouTube show. Of course, this is the daily vlog live. What is up, folks? Tezrim, first man in the building, of course. And you know what? So today, I don't know, we don't really have like a super exciting show for you guys today. We got some different things to get into, but I don't have like a ton of video clips lined up and all of that, like in terms of breaking down the Facebook, you know, Oculus Connect 5, the live stream, I mean, the keynote that first day, or like Michael Abrash and stuff. That's going to have to wait. Didn't get around to that. But we have some other stuff to talk about, so we'll get into some things real quick today. And I got to get some lunch, but that will be a little bit later. So I'll try to do as much as I can before I get too hungry. But we have Tezrim here, Lethal Weasel VR, Noah, Fluke, Bed for You Two, Bullet Ape, and Logan are all checking in right now as we watch this beautiful Nostos, not sure how to pronounce it. Beautiful trailer here. We've seen this trailer before. We know about this massively multiplayer VR game that is going to be coming sometime in 2019. I believe this is NetEase Games is the developer for this. And I put this trailer on for two reasons. Number one, it's a beautiful trailer. It's a nice thing to have playing, you know, nice music in the background, that kind of thing when we open up the show. Not bad to have kind of a cool trailer like this going on. But the other reason I have this trailer here is we do have a Steam page finally for Nostos. So let's go ahead and check that out. You can see right here, it does have a Steam page now. Nostos is a cross-platform multiplayer game for PC and VR in an open world setting. These guys are using the same technology from that UK company Improbable. You know that UK company Improbable? They're valued, I believe, around $5 billion in that kind of range, because this UK company has created this new operating system. It's called Spatial OS. And for those of you guys, let me type in Meta World. I'm sure you guys have heard of. Yeah, Meta World, the VR MMO, free to play, blah, 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 whatever the deal is with that. Meta World, we don't know what's going on with Meta World, but this is also using that same technology powered by Spatial OS. That's what you see right here, powered by Spatial OS. And so Nostos is going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be using the same kind of technology. It'll be interesting to see which one of these actually legitimately releases first, you know, because we were expecting Meta World for years now, and a lot of people think Meta World is a scam, but we'll kind of have to wait and see how that works out. But yeah, this does look very beautiful, enchanting world, very nice. So we're looking forward to that at some point in time. Okay, so one of the things I did want to get into at the beginning of today's show is I wanted to talk about a couple of comments that were left on previous episodes, and I just wanted to cover a couple of things real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the web browser, and let's talk about this Fuzzydragon. So I was going to copy, there isn't an easy way to copy these comments and have them chopped off so that I can make them big and clear and legible for you to read. So it's just easier for me to do it like this. But Fuzzydragon, this is a comment that he left 19 hours ago. Sounds like he's a little bit pissed off at some of the rants that I went on yesterday. So let's talk about this comment real quick. He says, "Talk about making a mountain out of a molehill. You didn't even wait for the molehill. They never said local multiplayer was going to have to wait. They responded to the question of if Oculus was pushing the developers to use that feature, which of course was no, not at this point, but that is still all up to the dev to implement. It's a working feature now and will be possible day one. Okay, so this is Fuzzydragon, and what he's talking about here is I kind of went on a rant at different times yesterday where I was really upset about the fact that it doesn't appear like local multiplayer is going to be a big thing for the Oculus Quest right away. And I played a clip from the tested interview, and honestly, I'll say to Fuzzydragon, watch that clip like 3 or 4 times. Watch it 3 or 4 times. And I'm gonna have to disagree with you, man. I'm gonna have to disagree with you because I watched that clip several different times, and Sean Liu, based on what he was talking about, to me, I got a clear indication from what he was talking about that multiplayer, that local co-op is something that will come later. It's not coming at launch. I honestly, like, I will be shocked. I would love to be wrong about this. Believe you me, I would love to be wrong about this, but I don't think local co-op is going to be there right away. I think it's going to be something that might be a year after Quest is available, maybe 2 years after Quest is available. So I just wanted to clarify that real quick. Now, there are some other comments that were left as well. Charles Van Nolan left a comment here. He says the headsets are communicating with each other through an everyday Wi-Fi router. All you need is to write a game for Quest that allows one to be a host and have them all connect to it via Wi-Fi. This is already possible with the Go, blah, blah, blah. And then on the quick hit version of this episode, Charles Van Nolan goes on to basically write freaking the next great American novel. I mean, it's kind of crazy. He really goes into it on the other one. But what I wanted to say is, so what I'm talking about with headsets commuting to each other, I want to try to be clear about what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is kind of like if you had a Nintendo 3DS. If you had 2 Nintendo 3DSs in a room, there doesn't need to be a Wi-Fi router anywhere for them to communicate to each other. There's portable devices. Okay, I'm not a technician. I don't make these things. This is not my job. I'm not into this. I mean, I don't know every little detail about this, right? But what I'm saying is there are portable devices. The Oculus Quest is a portable device. There are portable devices that can communicate with each other wirelessly without having to connect to any kind of a router. Am I wrong about that? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what I've always thought. You know, we've had different portable devices that have come out, like Nintendo, you know, portable things like a PlayStation Vita or whatever. Like, I think 2 PlayStation Vitas, can't they connect to each other without connecting specifically to a Wi-Fi router? Like, what if you were at someone's house where there was no computer, no router, no Wi-Fi, no nothing? Like, let's say you were camping, somewhere. Couldn't 2 Vitas talk to each other? Can't 2 Nintendo 3DSs talk to each other? Could 2 Nintendo Switches talk to each other? So that's what I'm talking about there. I'm trying to make my point clear here. That's what I'm talking about. So if I'm wrong, okay, you know, I'm wrong there. But basically, that's what I'm trying to explain there. One other thing I want to mention too is that I think a lot of people kind of got a little irritated with some of my rants yesterday, in terms of it seemed like maybe I was going negative. Let me see where else. I know there was another quote somewhere. The bottom line is this. Some people kind of insinuated that I was going a bit negative with the Quest. Why am I so critical about these certain situations with the Quest? And I just want to kind of wrap it up by saying, look, I am super hyped for the Oculus Quest. I want an Oculus Quest now. I want it right now. Spring 2019 cannot get here fast enough. I am excited and thrilled about the Oculus Quest, about where it is right now. You know, where it is right now, with all the limitations that it has, with the fact that probably local co-op isn't going to be there right away, the fact that pass-through mixed reality probably isn't going to be there right away, that hand tracking probably isn't going to be there right away, even with all of these possible shortcomings, I'm incredibly hyped about the Oculus Quest, and I would pre-order the thing right now. If it was available, I would pre-order it right now. And actually, speaking of that, it is not available to pre-order right now, but I'm going to switch over to this browser window right here. You can see it is actually on Amazon. There is a page up on Amazon. It says Oculus Quest all-in-one VR gaming system, currently unavailable. Want us to email you when this item becomes available. So here it is. It is on Amazon. It's showing up on Amazon. And instead of calling it a standalone, they're calling it all-in-one VR gaming system, which does kind of make sense there. So yeah, I'm super excited about the Oculus Quest. I want you guys to understand that. But at the same time, what am I going to do? Am I going to get up here for an hour and just like, oh, I love the Quest. Everything is great about the Quest. It is all rainbows and sunshine. Everything is wonderful about the Oculus Quest. It is a dream come true, blah, blah. You know, I'm not going to, like, I got to talk about every little aspect of it. And if there's some shortcomings, I'm going to talk about those shortcomings. But don't get it twisted. I am super hyped on the Oculus Quest, super excited about it. And so I'm still very much into it. So there's going to be some negativity, but like don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not talking smack about the Quest, not even close. I'm hyped on the Quest. Now, speaking of the Oculus Quest, there is some information that I got. Okay, so I have a clip that I'm going to play from that very same tested interview with Sean Liu, project manager Sean Liu, with the tested guys about the Quest. And this is a very short clip. It's only like 20 seconds or whatever, but I think we've got something that has been confirmed, baby. And what I'm talking about here is, well, we know the Oculus Quest, we've heard that it's starting at $399, starting, which means there's probably going to be other options, other versions of the Oculus Quest, maybe more storage, maybe a more deluxe head strap with high-end audio. Well, let's go ahead and check out this clip because I think the cat was let out of the bag. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Notice two what looks like analog headphone jacks, one on either side. What's the thinking behind that?
You know, we do have a lot of audio solutions that are up and coming. You can take a few guesses. Yeah.
But those will both theoretically be there in the final product.
That's correct. They will both be there. Yeah.
Very interesting.
For now, you can plug in a headphone jack into either side, and it'll just work.
I know these are prototypes right now, but I also noticed two what looks like analog headphone jacks, one on either side. What's the thinking behind that?
You know, we do have a lot of audio solutions that are up and coming. You can...
Yeah, so that's it right there. I mean, I don't know if people really paid attention to this very short. I mean, it's only like a 26-minute, a 26-second clip out of this interview, but apparently there's a headphone jack on each side of the Oculus Quest. And Norman Chan was very astute to mention this, and he brings it up to Sean, and he kind of caught Sean off guard a little bit there. And at first I was thinking, I don't get it. Why would they have two headphone jacks? That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But then I thought about it more and I thought, oh, wait a minute here, bro. There's going to be a deluxe audio strap that is going to snap in to those two headphone jacks, and then it's going to have the built-in like actual audio similar to the Oculus Rift. So I'm going to say here right now that I really truly believe that when the Oculus Quest, as we get closer and closer to release, there could be multiple versions of this. We know about the 64 gig version for $399. Well, they might have a 256 gig version or a 128 gig version that includes this more deluxe strap that has built-in headphones very similar to the Oculus Rift. It snaps into those two headphone jacks on the side. And so that's probably what we're going to get there. So that's kind of been, I mean, not officially confirmed, you know, obviously not officially confirmed, but 1 + 1 = 2, right? You know, 1 + 1 = 2. So that's probably what's going to happen. I Am Rhett says he wants a 1 terabyte version. That's a lot of storage. Good luck with that. I don't know that they're going to go that big, but I'm hoping they don't go 64 128. I'm hoping they don't just double up like they did with the Oculus Go. I'm hoping they go much bigger than just going to 128. You know, 256, 512, something like that. I'm hoping for that. But you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar there is going to be a higher end audio attachment that you can get for that. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. So we do know about that. Okay, so in the news a little bit is a Kickstarter for this haptic audio kind of a vest that you can wear. It's called the Rig. And I haven't really been watching this very closely, but I did hear about it on like Road to VR. The Kickstarter has been wildly successful, I believe, and I have a couple of videos for this. So let's go ahead and check out. So some of these videos are a little bit obnoxious, like this lady here screaming, but let's go ahead and check this out real quick.
It just felt like you could feel it through your legs, out the forces out of your whole body. You could feel it in the chest so much. It was phenomenal. I can't.
Yo, the T-Rex is yelling at me, and now he's looking at me really closely. And I can feel his breath. And when he roars, my whole body's shaking.
The dinosaur scared the hell out of me because, once again, you just see the dinosaur and then it feels like he's gonna eat you right there. And you can feel the intensity, like almost like he's breathing on you.
I'm scared. Oh my god.
So this does look pretty cool. I mean, this is that same company, right? That had this strap thing that didn't they have a strap that was going across you? Wooher, wasn't it like the Wooher strap or whatever? Okay, so now they have this vest, which is a little bit different. Looks pretty cool. If you actually go to their website, there's like 8 different places along the vest, like on your back, on your front, where it kind of gives you these haptic sensations, and it utilizes the sound and all of that. So this does look kind of cool. My question here, though, really is how much of this is a situation where, like, sure, everybody that puts this on and they try it at this, whatever this trade show is, you're immediately struck by it because you feel the rumble and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. My question is, after you felt that like 4 or 5, 6 different times, like, do you still want that? Like, do you really still want that every time you're playing? For example, if I'm playing like Firewall 0 Hour or something like that, which I don't even know that it would really work with this other than it just analyzing all the sound in general. I don't know if, like, can they write specific code to take real advantage of this, or does it just take your audio and it just automatically does it? Because I remember back in the days, don't you guys remember those headphones that you could get? Headphones like this that had that extra bass support, and you would hit like a button or something and you would be listening to songs and it would be like bum bum bum, you know, it would like add that extra bass to it, and it would seem like super duper impressive. But those headphones don't exist anymore. Like, no one gives a damn about those headphones anymore. And the reason why is, here's what Great Tantrum said: seems like a gimmick. Well, yeah, it's kind of gimmicky. Like that whole bass thing, it's kind of gimmicky in a way. Now, Factory Life says, wait a minute here. Yes, I have a sub pack and it's awesome. Now, this isn't exactly a sub pack. It's in the same kind of general category. I don't know, like, pricing, how close this is to a sub pack or not. I do have another trailer for this. Let me go ahead and grab, let's see if the other trailer shows some differences here. Let me throw on this other trailer. Okay, so let's check this one out for a second.
I've never experienced anything like that. That is sexy. That would just be pure sex.
Wooger is a wearable device that enhances a user's multimedia experience via a polyphonic transducer, creating a tactile augmented reality.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still. Cedric Harris 12 says, "Look, it's basically a sub pack. This is another sub pack." And Vrium says, "Wait a minute, this is another add-on. Add-ons are not successful. They never work." I don't know. This is one of these things where we're trying to get immersion. We are trying to get immersion. We want more immersion. And in a lot of these demos, they're kind of talking about the T-Rex, which is probably, what is it? Oculus Dream Deck or whatever, you know, where the T-Rex comes walking down and it's right in front of you, and then the T-Rex breathes on you, or, you know, you're shooting your bazooka or whatever, you're filling these shots. I don't know. I'm just wondering, is it going to be subtle enough that you're going to want to use this on a regular kind of basis? And then the other thing too is, do you really want to strap this on? One of the things that Gary always talks about with VR and with the friction of VR, Gary from VR Roundtable, he'll often mention the fact that it feels like you have to like suit up. Like if you're gonna play VR, you gotta suit up. You gotta get prepared. You know, you gotta make sure your sensors are all dialed in. You gotta get your headset ready. You got to get your controllers ready. Unravel your cord a little bit. Make sure Steam VR is working right. You got to do all this extra stuff, right? Well, now you also got to throw on a vest too. You know, so I don't know. It's interesting. It looks cool. I certainly would like to try it. But I just wonder, like, for me, I think the future of something like this is not so much that it takes the audio of anything and just converts the audio to sensations. What I would much rather have than that is for it to have some type of code, some type of flagging or code that is within the game that will then, if you have one of these, it'll take advantage of it, and you'll get subtle, very subtle sensations rather than just taking the audio. Just whenever there's bass, it's going to bam you. And whenever there's an explosion, it's going to bam you. I really think it needs to be a little bit more subtle than that. But I mean, it's a cool idea, and we continue to explore these things, and it gets more and more interesting as time goes on. So that is cool. That is called Rig. It is a Kickstarter. I believe it's a successful Kickstarter now. So that's a good thing. Okay. One thing I wanted to check out real quick, Karnage Chronicles. There is this co-op update. You know, there's a lot of games that have been getting some pretty big updates. Primordian just got a pretty big update. New levels and new things have been added to Primordian. I haven't even jumped back in that. I really need to do that. But the other game is Karnage Chronicles, and there's a trailer for this co-op. I never played the trailer, so let's go ahead and check out the trailer real quick.
The Gates is a rift in the fabric of cosmos, contained and governed by the laws of magic. The Circle maintained dozens across the whole of Terralin, and you have seen them before, eons ago. Find out who or what causes that vortex, and if you find the makers, slay it.
Man, you know, watching this trailer, I remember going through all these areas in Karnage Chronicles, and it's a beautiful game. It really is a great game. It's one of the better dungeon crawlers that we have in VR. I mean, if you're a fan of Vanishing Realms, and this is right there with that type of game. Really good dungeon crawler. I was really blown away by Karnage Chronicles when I first got my hands on it, because I kind of thought, you know, this is almost like everything that Vanishing Realms is doing, but this is doing it even better. And it kind of gives you that Lord of the Rings kind of vibe. You know, you're going up, you turn around a corner, and then you see this castle in the distance, and the waves are crashing, and all of this stuff. So Karnage Chronicles looks pretty freaking badass. The multiplayer looks cool. I got to jump back in this. I got to definitely give this a try, because I was loving Karnage Chronicles way back in the days, and I know they've added more things to it. They've updated it. They've continued to bang away on it. And I would love to get into a multiplayer game with like Gary and Steve and Chris, like a 4-player. Like if all 4 of us could be in there, we could play Karnage Chronicles at the same time and kind of go through the single player story mission, but all 4 of us. And the question though is, whenever you add these additional people, you got to then add enough enemies to make it all work together. But probably it would work. I think that would be pretty cool. So that is Karnage Chronicles. Certainly need to check this out. Okay, let me bounce back over to chat. Let's see what folks are talking about. Okay, so Cedric Harris says $700 when it comes out. Looked it up the other day. Was thinking about getting it, but if it's like sub pack, I'm not just going to get a sub pack. Excuse me, sorry. I Am Rhett says, been debating picking this up. Anyone try it? Are you talking about Karnage Chronicles? I haven't tried the multiplayer, but the regular game is fantastic. It's a fantastic game. Bullet Ape says, yeah, I kind of stuck it on the wish list too. Lethal Weasel VR says, Epix puts this in his top 20, if I recall correctly. Yeah, Epix, I believe, recently did like top 20 best VR games ever, and I believe this one was one of them. Let me see, what is Karnage Chronicles like? I don't know what the current price is on this. Let me check it on Steam. Karnage Chronicles, Steam. Let's see, what is Karnage Chronicles going for right now? And so it's $25. It's $25. A true VR RPG built from the ground up to fully immerse you in what VR has to offer, and that is Nordic Trolls is a developer of that. So $25. So not super duper cheap, but you know, a solid game, and especially with the multiplayer and all of that. One of the things I am kind of curious about though is the last time I did play Karnage Chronicles, I pretty much went through what they had available in terms of like the regular gameplay stuff that they had, and I know that the idea was they were going to add more. You know, there was going to be these other pathways, very similar to Primordian in that same way. Like you go into Primordian and there would be this one direction you could go, and then there's this other direction and this other direction, and this one is coming soon and that one is coming soon. And that's kind of how Karnage Chronicles was, the promise of content that were coming soon. And I don't know if, I mean, I know they've added this multiplayer thing, but did they add other single player levels as well? So I really need to revisit that. I haven't been in there in a long time. I Am Rhett says, Karnage Chronicles or Vox Machinae? If you were only going to pick one of them up, which one would you pick up? And Jay Pay says, Vox Machinae is absolutely epic, by the way. Actually, it's funny, Jay. I was in my Oculus Rift last night, and I was playing a little bit of Space Junkies. And right before I got into Space Junkies, you know how you have your friends list there? Jay is actually on my friends list, and I saw that he was in Vox Machinae, and I was like, oh, look, Jay is playing Vox Machinae. He's in there right now. That's a hard question, though, I Am Rutz. It's a really good question. I'm more of a single-player guy personally, so I might kind of edge towards Karnage because it has, you could play plenty of single player and not even consider the multiplayer whatsoever. Where Vox Machinae, you can basically do the tutorial, but the game is multiplayer. The game is a multiplayer game. There's no getting around that fact. It is straight up multiplayer. And Karnage kind of has a little bit of both. But goddamn, Vox Machinae. See, I was not lying, guys. Jay Pace is he's my witness here. I am not lying. Vox Machinae was done so very well that even someone like myself that isn't really a multiplayer guy, they just put it together in such a good fashion from the standpoint of the cockpit, all of your controls, the communication with everybody. Just really damn good. I mean, goddamn, I'm impressed by Vox Machinae, and they're both exactly the same price. Jay Pace says Vox Machinae will have a co-op wave mode soon. That's kind of cool. They're going to be adding some more stuff on there. And Logan says, watch Paradise Decay's video on Steam playing Vox. Yeah, so that is cool. And Conrad Lawrence says, is Vox Machinae multiplayer only? Yes, it basically is. You can screw around in the training mode for a while, but I mean, it's pretty brief. You're going to be getting into the regular game. I Am Rut says $13.65 Karnage Chronicles on sale. Is that on a particular website or something? Because yeah, if there's a good deal somewhere, that wouldn't be a bad idea as far as Karnage goes. Okay, let's see here. I think I have like one other trailer to maybe get into real quick. Let's see. Oh, well, you know what? Racket Fury Table Tennis is coming to PlayStation VR on Astrobot Day this Tuesday. Let's check out this trailer real fast. It's pretty short. Okay, so that says February 10th. That says February 10th, but I thought it was coming out on October 2nd. Or, oh, this might be an older trailer or something like that. But yeah, this is coming to PlayStation VR, I believe on Tuesday. I've never been a Racket Fury guy. I know there was a demo for the longest time. There may still be a demo that was on Steam for this. And I tried the demo out, and I know some people really like this. I just never wrapped my head around it, to be honest with you. And I have 11 table tennis VR. And like, if I want to play some 11 table, if I want to play ping pong, basically, I'll just play 11 table tennis VR. I'm pretty much good with that. So I've never really gotten into Racket Fury, but it is coming to PlayStation VR. So that will be available. And so, see, I didn't know what I Am Rutz was talking about here, but he's talking about Kinguin just sells keys, and so you can get a key for Karnage Chronicles for $13.65, basically $14, just shy of $14 on Kinguin. Never heard of Kinguin ever before. Kind of like Penguin, but with King at the beginning of it, I guess. But that's not a bad deal there for Karnage Chronicles. Assuming it's a legit key, I worry for developers like Nordic Trolls, because I know a lot of people get their hands on these keys somehow, kind of illegitimately in a way, and then they sell them to all these different key sites. And sometimes I think it's a little bit sketchy on some of these key sites, but, you know, that's there. But that is Racket Fury Table Tennis VR, so that's going to be coming very soon. That's really pretty much what I had for today. Let me see if I can throw on some other trailer real quick while we look up some other stories, check out some other stuff. Just throw on something random here. Okay, Gary Haylock says, I use Kinguin all the time. And I'm guessing so it's legit. I Am Rhett says, I buy from them all the time, legit site. Okay, that's cool. I'm sure there are some legit sites out there and you could get some good deals. So definitely not a bad way to do it. Lethal Weasel VR says that's where he bought Fallout. So, okay, we do have some good options there. That's nice. All right. So why don't we go ahead and let's see here. What else did I want to get into? Oh, I know, speaking of sales, This is the daily deal, guys. Kin is the daily deal on Oculus. It is $10 down from $15. Although honestly, if you have an Oculus Go, you might actually be better off buying Kin for your Oculus Go and just playing it 100% on your Oculus Go, because I think it works really well on the Oculus Go. You will need to have a controller, though. You need to have an actual legit controller, but it plays very well on the Go, so you might want to get it there instead. But if you don't have a Go, $10 for Kin. It is the daily deal on Oculus, and that was pretty much it as far as that. Let's see here. We can go ahead and bounce over to the Vive subreddit and see what's going on there. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Vive subreddit real quick here. So on the Vive subreddit, some of the things they're talking about here, asynchronous space warp 2.0 is going to be released soon for Oculus. Where the hell is our 1.0 space warp? Yeah, didn't we hear something a long time ago? I'm talking years ago. Didn't we hear something about how Steam was going to have some type of version of asynchronous space warp, some kind of similar style version that would help people out that have a little bit lower end PCs? I can tell you this, I am super excited for asynchronous space warp 2.0, considering the fact that I'm still on the 970. I do want to buy somebody's 1080 Ti. So once again, if there's someone out there that just bought a 2080 Ti or a 2080 and you're dumping your 1080 Ti, if you're willing to dump it at a lower price than you might get on eBay or something like that, hook me up with a deal. info@vrgamerankings.com. I'm ready to buy a 1080 Ti if I can get a decent deal on one and put my 970 to bed. I really am. But until that happens, asynchronous space warp 2.0 is kind of a nice thing. We have people trying to do a petition for Dirt Rally 2.0 getting some VR support. That was kind of surprising that Dirt Rally doesn't have VR support. That was pretty shocking. And then this one guy says, I really want full body tracking now. And I actually have the video for what this guy's talking about. Let me go ahead and show you this video. This is a video like from VR chat. So see, a lot of people in VR chat right now, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. A lot of people in VR chat, now they have the Vive Wireless adapter. So now they can move all around and get kind of crazy with it. And here's somebody, Quonk, doing all these dances and all these crazy maneuvers with his Vive Wireless adapter, and then also using, I believe they're using like Kinects, like Microsoft Kinects, to kind of get the full body tracking on the outside. So I'm not into the whole VR chat thing personally. Like I tried VR chat a couple of times, had some problems, some technical difficulties with it, never really got into it too much, but I know people like swear by it, and it's kind of like Ready Player One in certain ways. Like, I mean, they're trying to go into the metaverse like right now with full body tracking and that whole deal. And so the Vive Wireless adapter has really helped a lot of people out, being able to get a lot more freaky with it, as you can see Quonk dancing around kind of crazy style there. But let me go ahead and go back and look at chat. Gary Haylock says he bought Transference and Creed. Dude, Gary, have you had a chance to play Transference? One of the things I've been very surprised by, in fact, I've been shocked by this, honestly. I think Transference is one of the best VR games I've ever played, period, in terms of like that AAA kind of a thing, and it's in certain bursts of it, not the whole entire game, but certain parts of it are just so AAA and such lavish production values and so well done in certain aspects, but not that many people are talking about Transference, and I'm really surprised by this. And I wonder, is this just a horror thing? Is it a horror thing? Like, is it just too scary? I kind of feel for Spectravision and for Ubisoft. I mean, not so much Ubisoft, more Spectravision, but I hope sales of Transference are good because they deserve to be good. And then Creed is a wonderful exercise game. It is a damn exercise game, though. It will make you sweat. So Gary Haylock, not sure if you've already... Oh, Gary is about halfway through Transference. Do you agree with me? Do you feel like there are certain brief moments in Transference where it really comes together and it really seems like a AAA type of game? So, I mean, I'm sure that is a part of it. You know, the horror factor is a part of it, because I remember I was watching that tested video on Oculus Connect 5 where they tried the Quest out, and one of the things they tried was Face Your Fears 2, and they both said, we would never play Face Your Fears 2 unless we were pretty much forced into it. And so it's possible that, you know, guys like Jeremy and Norm from Tested, they don't want to play Transference. It's a little bit too scary for them. So it's unfortunate that it's a little bit scary on that side. Lethal Weasel VR says Transference is great, and Gary Haylock says, yeah, it is pretty cool. And VRium, talking about Quonk in this little VR chat video, says this guy knows how to dance. Worth having full body tracking. Yeah, I saw some of the comments to this and people were wondering, is this really this guy dancing because he's like a straight up professional freaking dancer here, or did he have somebody else put all the stuff on and go to town and start dancing around crazy? We don't know what the reality is there, but VR chat would be kind of cool to get in there with all these people. You know, the full body tracking movement is kind of interesting to be sure. Okay, so let me throw on a different trailer. Something else. I can throw on some Space Junkies trailer. I did play Space Junkies a little bit more yesterday. This is kind of a weirdly formatted trailer here. It's kind of 4:3-ish style. But I did play some more Space Junkies last night, and I'm still really enjoying what's going on there in Space Junkies. It just has a good feel, man. Like the controls and everything, it really feels good. It's kind of this 2-on-2 deal. So I think the way they've made it, it's set up for good gameplay experiences, but I get my ass whooped pretty much every time I'm in there. I mean, every time I'm in there, I get my ass whooped. I get shotgun the hell out of it. And I'm just not very good, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's fun to play. I'm kind of concerned, though, like, how many of these games do we need? Because we do have Echo Combat coming on November 15th, and I believe Echo Combat is only $10. Space Junkies is similar to Echo Combat, but different. I think Space Junkies, like Echo Combat, is a little bit more tactical, and Space Junkies is a little bit more Unreal Tournament, which is more my flavor. I kind of like more of the fast, just get in there and have fun kind of thing. So I do like Space Junkies, but if it's priced like $29.99 or something like that, I don't know that it's going to be my type of game there as far as something that I would try to run out and grab. But VR Spry Guy said, look, we told you, Anthony, Space Junkies is legit, and it is absolutely legit. It feels really good. It plays really good. It is very well designed. Absolutely no question. Talking about in regards to Transference and in regards to Face Your Fears 2 and some of these things like that, I'm not in VR to shit my pants. I'm not down with that. He basically, so, I mean, the thing is, you can get into some of these VR experiences, and yeah, it's so unsettling that you sometimes have to ask yourself, do I really want to feel like this? Do I really want to feel unsettled and nervous and like hyper concerned about what's going to come around the next corner? And some people don't want to do that. But the downside, and Factory Life says, dude, I'm right there with you, Greg's VR. I'm right there with you about that. But the downside of this is that you guys are missing out on some of the absolute best VR games that are out there, because some of the absolute best VR games are these horror games and these thrillers. And so it's kind of a catch-22 situation. But let's see, let me go over to the Oculus subreddit and see if there's any really new things that are going on there. Let's bounce over there and check that out. So on the Oculus subreddit, Beat Saber devs on whether it will be on Oculus Quest. That's pretty much a no-brainer. I mean, Beat Saber, not only will Beat Saber be on the Oculus Quest, you have to imagine that it will launch day and date with the Oculus Quest. We know there's supposedly going to be 50 games available at launch, and it would be kind of shocking if Beat Saber wasn't one of those 50. It just makes too much sense. It is not even a question. Okay, this one is interesting. Arena gameplay viewed from a tablet. Now, I didn't download this video, but you guys can see this video right here. I can just click on it. You guys can see it. And this is super cool. They're using the tablet there. He's watching this guy behind this barrier, and you can kind of see how the animations look, how the graphics look, how the guys are walking around and moving. The skeletal is a little bit off, you know, because it's not using like the VR chat connect kind of thing. So it's using inverse kinematics to determine how they're moving around there. But that looks super cool. And that is a great way. I can seriously imagine in the future, we're going to have these laser tag. Like laser tag is going to be complete. Like this is the future of laser tag right here. Let me go back to that window. This is the future of laser tag. You're going to have these laser tag setups where people are going to be using Oculus Quest style wireless devices, and they're going to be running around inside this world. And then you're going to have people on the outside, maybe even like referees and stuff, that are going to be watching it with their tablets to see what is going on. You might also have like some monitors that are set up on the outside that kind of shows people from certain angles, this is what's going on in the game. This is what you're not seeing. That's pretty much the future of laser tag right there. Jumping back over to chat, let's see. I Am Retz is saying, is Space Junkies so good it warrants a Ubisoft store? No, it is not that good. Transference is that good though, and you do need to have Uplay to play Transference. I mean, I'm just not a multiplayer guy. So Space Junkies, if you dream of multiplayer dreams, and if this is what you want to do, and you want to spend hours just in Space Junkies playing over and over and over again, then that's going to be your dream there. I'm not really super into that, so I like it, but it doesn't like fulfill all my dreams. So no, I would say that is not worth having a Ubisoft store, in my opinion. Fluke Rogi is responding to Justice, and he's saying, I'd be surprised if it was. The thing is, there are so many models environments that aren't curated. You can easily get into an area that the Quest just wouldn't be able to handle. Not sure exactly what they're talking about there. And Gary Haylock says, I start laughing at myself when I get scared in VR games. I love it. Well, yeah, we do that to try to make it not seem as scary, you know. We kind of giggle about it and stuff. Every once in a while, like there were certain moments in Transference, there's always like little brief seconds where it's like, bam, and I will legitimately get scared. Maybe like a loud noise or a door slamming or something will happen where it will legitimately trigger like my fight or flight response mechanism, and I will get legitimately scared for a brief period of time. But it's not normally a situation where I just feel this constant overbearing dread weighing down on me. And I can see how that would not be fun for a lot of people. VREM says, I wonder if Quest will launch with game bundles like Rift did. Not sure if it, definitely not with all the free games that Rift launched with. I doubt that will happen, but it could have a couple of pack-ins. There could be a couple of pack-in games that would be included with it. Okay, let's see if I can throw on a different trailer, though. We've been on this same trailer for a minute here. I could just throw on a Vox Machinae trailer since I have one handy. But yeah, man, this game right here, very impressive. Vox Machinae, super impressive, coming in the last couple of days of September and really kind of shocking it. It's going to be cool because tomorrow on the VR Roundtable, on our VR Roundtable show, which I believe is going to be at 9 p.m. Pacific live, our VR Roundtable episode, as far as I know, we will probably be talking about Vox Machinae, and I'm super curious to see what Steve and Gary and Chris think about this game, and if they are thinking it's as good as I think it is, and all of that. That will be interesting to find out tomorrow when we get into that. Let's see. Is there any last minute stories we can get into? That's pretty much it. Yeah, we could bounce back over to the Oculus Rift subreddit real quick and see if there's any other stories going on. Quest use outdoors. That's kind of interesting. Will we be able to use the Quest outdoors? Probably very limited on that. And Carmack on inside out tracking. They could have been farther along had they been more focused. And yeah, Stormland Rift gameplay. I believe Virtual Reality Oasis. That's Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis. I believe he got some hands-on time with Stormland at Oculus Connect 5. That's where I really feel kind of jealous about not going to Oculus Connect 5. I probably should have went. I probably should have paid the $300 and all the extra money I would have had to pay. To be able to get hands-on time with, like, I think Defector. I think I probably could have waited in line to play Defector, probably could have waited in line to play Stormland and a few of these other games, and absolutely could have waited in line to play the Oculus Quest and stuff like that. So I do feel a little bit jealous about all of that, but I'm trying to throw that money at a 1080 Ti if I could, or at least put it towards a 1080 Ti. So anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap it up, guys. I do need to get something to eat. I am absolutely starving. Lethal Weasel VR says it'll get Lucky's tail. Yeah, it absolutely should get Lucky's tail. And Lucky's tail will probably work really, really good on that. And I Am Rhett says, Anthony, damn it, you're going to make me spend another $25 getting Vox Machinae now. I'm telling you, I Am Rhett, it is really, really good. It is really, really solid. It is just done very well. This one guy on the Vive subreddit was saying it's the most polished game he's ever played ever. And I think that's a little bit ridiculous, but it is a very solid game. So definitely check that out. All right, guys, I got to bounce out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on my outro trailer. And we will go ahead and call this an episode. Maybe not the greatest episode we've had, but it'll suffice for today. This, of course, has been VR Game Rankings. Certainly check out the website if you get an opportunity. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like the video. You don't have to smash that like button. You don't have to. Did anybody notice I got like kind of angry yesterday when I did that? You don't have to smash that like button. You can just barely tap it very nicely. And that will pretty much do it. I will be back tomorrow. I will start roughly about 10 minutes after the VR Roundtable episode, which usually is around like 10:50, 11 a.m. anyways, Pacific time. So that's probably when we will start. So I will see everybody then. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.